This just in, a regular man has just calculated the circumference of the Earth, using only sticks and not even leaving Egypt. This man, who is called Eratosthenes, is not only the third chief librarian at the Library of Alexandria, but a philosopher, scientist, author, athlete, inventor, and mathematician as well. In this tiny village of Cyrene, Eratosthenes was born in the year 276 BC. He lived most of his life in Alexandria. It was here that he calculated the circumference of the Earth. His estimate was only off by 725 kilometers. This astounding feat has been unparalleled in the world of mathematics. Let us see what he has to say about his incredible feat. Tell me, Mr. Eratosthenes, exactly how did you do this?
Well, you see, I knew that on the summer solstice at local noon in Aswan, the sun would appear at the community well, directly overhead. I also knew, for measurement, that in Alexandria the angle of elevation of the sun would be 1/50th of a full circle, 7 degrees 12 inches south of the well at the very same time. Now, assuming that Alexandria was due north of Syene, I concluded that the distance from Alexandria to Syene must be 1/50th of the total circumference of the Earth. My estimated distance between the cities was 800 kilometers, by estimating the time that I had taken to travel from Syene to Alexandria by camel. I rounded the result to a circumference of 252,000 stadia.
What was your final estimate for the circumference of the Earth?
My final estimate was 39,350 kilometers.
For most of you that don't know, the actual circumference is 40,075.16 kilometers, which renders his estimate only 725 kilometers off. One more thing. When exactly did you die?
Yes, I died in the year 194 BC.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't that mean you'd be dead right now? Well, Mr. Eratosthenes, it has been a pleasure speaking with you.
It has been a pleasure speaking with you.
I hope you continue to do what you do. Thank you for contributing to the Society of Math. Just for you, Honored Geometry. This is Kenneth Brackman from Channel 9 News. So long. Hello, I'm Professor James E. Jones, and I'm here to talk about some of the things that Eratosthenes said before. Let us begin. In Syene, in ancient Egypt, there was a particular community well, and the sun would cast light into that well and make a shadow upon the water at the bottom. Eratosthenes noticed this. Also, this happened on generally every single day of the year, but on one day of the year, on the summer solstice, he observed there was no shadow cast into the water. This means that the sun must have been directly overhead. Now, on that same day, in Alexandria, there was a shadow. It was on a tower. Which meant that the sun was not directly above that one. This also confused Eratosthenes. Why in one area there would be a shadow and in another there would not. This got him thinking about the Earth's shape. he realized that if at one place there was no shadow, and at another place there was a shadow, it meant that the Earth must be a spherical shape. As said before, Eratosthenes knew the distance between Alexandria and Syene was 800 kilometers. Also, he knew that Alexandria was north of Syene. Then he measured the angle of the shadow of the tower in Alexandria. He discovered the angle to be 7.2 degrees. Now, coincidentally, 7.2 degrees is 1/50th of 360 degrees, which is an entire circle. Because he knew that 7.2 times 50 was 360, all he had to do now was multiply 800 times 50 to get the answer to the circumference around the Earth. So his calculation was 800 times 50, and his final answer was 40,000 kilometers. What you're probably wondering is why he said 39,350 when the math clearly shows that the answer was 40,000. Well, you see, in his time they used a different measuring system. They used stadians, or stadia for plural. Thank you for your time.